Hello and welcome to another video. In today's video we're going to be showing you how we get our firewood from our wood store to our house, because we've watched a number of videos from several channels here on YouTube of how different people do this, and today we'd like to show you our method, and we've got a couple of upgrades that we need to do. So here on the whiteboard I'm going to try and illustrate for you what we used to do with firewood and how we do it now. So you can see here we've got our wood store and here we've got the house. Obviously the distance between them is not to scale. Now what we used to do is have a little firewood shed here outside the house, and we would go to our wood store with a trailer on the back of one of the tractors. Amazing drawing, I know. And we would go from here to there and fill up the wood store, which would take multiple trailer fulls. And then when we needed the wood inside the house, we would come out and get it, which meant that we were handling the wood technically twice, once putting the wood from the store into the trailer and then from the trailer into the shed. Now that's how we used to do it. Then we decided to try to make it so we save time by handling the wood less. So what we did was we put our shed that was over here on wheels and made it into a trailer to go behind the tractor, so that when we have it over here at the wood store, we only need to fill it up once, and then we just turn it around to the house, and it can sit there, meaning that technically we only handle the wood once, and we're not having to offload it into separate trailers. We're now going to go and get our woodshed on wheels, and we'll turn it around here and bring it in here, because it'll be nicer for us to do the video in here because it's warmer, and outside it's wet and very windy and very cold. We've got the wood box shed trailer in here now, and we've got the heater on, so hopefully we can defrost a bit from being outside. Now I'll give you a bit of a walk around of it. We've got the axle right at the back of the wood box here, and we use wheel weights on the back of our designated wood box tractor, which for this year is the Red 1054. And both these things are because we want the axle at the back to put as much nose weight on the drawbar, so that the back axle doesn't bog down on the trailer. And we've got wheel weights on the tractor to help it grip with the chevron tyres, and we've had this in a very boggy patch that we've got, with mud up to the rim on the tyre. It's sunk that much and it's managed to still pull through, which is good. Speaking of that axle on the trailer, it's from an old front wheel drive Ford Escort van, which this is the rear axle, which we cut in half and made up a new insert, then welded it back together to make it thinner so that it would fit better on the trailer. And that makes this pretty stable and gives it quite a low centre of gravity, which, the bad thing about that means that the drawbar is slightly at the wrong height, which is something that we will fix in the summer, just not at the moment because that'll take it out of service, and I like staying warm when I go inside. So obviously we need the firewood box. And also with the drawbar, where we put this by the house, my mum and sister have decided to put some raised beds there for some reason. So we have to do quite sharp turns when we're trying to manoeuvre this thing. And sometimes we do catch the jockey wheel part with the chevrons, so one of the modifications we'll be making to the drawbar is also making it longer. Now I'll give you a quick tour of the inside. It's pretty simple really, it's mainly just the shed area. It's quite literally a shed on a chassis on wheels. And up here we've got this rack that store these slats, which how this works is as you fill up the box, you then slide these in to hold all of the wood that's there to stop any falling out as you load more in, and eventually you'll have all of the slats put in place, and then the same for emptying it, you just take out the slats as you need to take more out. So today, some of the things that we will be doing is testing how much weight, when this is full, it puts on the tow bar of the tractor to make sure that that isn't too much, and we'll also be making a bit of modification to this slat system. So I've got my trusty cameraman in the trailer now, and I'm not sure how well this will show up because it's quite dark in the trailer, but we'll see what we can get. Now I'm going to show you the problem that we're going to solve with this modification. Now where the slats go in here, if the slat goes any further than this bit here, any firewood that's stacked in here could possibly move or fall, or just wedge that up against there, and at that point you can't move the slat. So that means that you can't take this out to do the next bit of unloading, and you have to start juggling around with that, which, bearing in mind that that's quite difficult leverage wise from here to try and move the big bits of firewood that are all stacked against each other, and it's just unhelpful. We're going to have to try and make a way of stopping any bits of firewood from touching these slats and stopping them from moving. Now I've got my cameraman back in the woodshed box, and we've got a couple of bits of metal cut up. That's an odd bit of metal, wood I mean, cut down for this. So what we will do is have this back slat here, and then I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see this because it's pretty difficult to get in here, it's quite a tight space. And then we'll have this other slat fixed like that, so that it effectively creates a box around where the end of the slat will be, and there'll be a hole in the bottom for any debris to just fall, like sawdust, to fall out of there. So what we need to do now is just fix this up here, and then do the same on the other side. Right, so our modifications are complete now. You can see we've got this end part and then the spacer part there, all screwed on both sides. And if I get the slat off the roof here, you can see that still works perfectly, and I can still take that out nicely, even with having the end bit. Now the next bit we want to do is weigh how much weight is on the nose of the trailer. Now to weigh the trailer, what we're going to use are these are weigh beams, and we're going to weigh it at two different points. We're going to weigh it now while it's empty, and then we're going to weigh it again while it's full, and we're going to weigh the entire weight of the entire trailer, and we're going to also weigh the nose weight, which I'll make a quick table here for our results. So we just bit like that, empty and full, and then here if we put the nose weight and the total weight. Now we want to do the nose weight because we want to make sure that we're not overloading the tow bar and the back of the tractor, and we're going to do this by some research that we did. Give me 2 seconds just to get my notes. And the heaviest attachment that we found to go on the back of a tube frame was made by a company called Dan User, and it was a post hole digger. So you would use it for digging holes that you would then put posts in, and that weighed 250 kilograms or 551 pounds. That's minus the auger that you use for the drilling. So we're going to see if at the point when this is empty or full at the nose, if that overloads that, or if that's less than that. We've now got the way beams underneath the trailer, and we put some blocks on the supports at the front there, and some under the axle back there. And currently we've got the trailer jacked up off of those blocks, and we have zeroed the scale, or set it to 0, so it doesn't count the weight of all of the blocks that are on there. And it should just tell us, once we lower the jacks, what the weight of the actual trailer is. So let's lower them. Right, that one's off the front jack now. And that's off the back jack as well. And the weight of it is...
You're leaning on the wheel. Right.
And by the looks of it, the weight is 218 kilograms. We've now put the way beams under the front here, with just a piece of wood going across to split the weight evenly across both of them. And we're going to see what the nose weight is now that we've set that back to 0. So that all of its weight is now on the way beam, and it says that the nose weight is 95 kilograms, which I will just quickly write on the board here. Now it's time for us to brave the weather and fill up the wood box. We're now parked up by the wood barn and we're going to fill this up. We're back in the workshop now after filling up the wood box. We did fill it up a lot more nose heavy, unfortunately, than we would normally or we would want to. So we're expecting this nose weight to be a lot more than usual. Which, speaking of the nose weight, that is the one we're going to do first. We've got it set up here. So I'll just let down the jack and we will be able to see on the screen how much it weighs. There you go, that is 252 kilograms, which is quite a lot. We've repositioned it now to take the total weight with the trailer full. So I'm now going to let down both the jacks quite slowly because obviously it's full, and we'll see how much it weighs. Right, that's the front one. Right, so that should be off the jacks now. And the total weight it's saying here is 776 kilograms. Which we've added to our table now. It's now starting to get dark, so we took the wood box round to the house since the 1054 doesn't have lights fitted to it. But let's go through some of the numbers we collected. So empty, the nose weight was 95 kilograms or 209 pounds. Then the total weight of the trailer was 218 kilograms, and which equals roughly 481 pounds. Obviously, it's not going to be exact because there is no exact comparison. Now, when it was full, our nose weight was 252 kilograms, which is 556 pounds. And then when it was full, the total weight was 776 kilograms, or 1,711 pounds. Now, this means that our load of firewood was 558 kilograms, or 1,230 pounds. Now, our full nose weight, our target was to be less than 250 kilograms, which we are very slightly over. So, what we actually tested out off camera is we jacked up part of the back of the trailer as if we'd moved the axle forward even as little as a couple of inches, and that reduced the nose weight to around 170 kilograms. So when we come to possibly come to improve this in the summer, we might move the axle forward a couple of inches so that we still have some decent nose weight, so the axle on the trailer won't get bogged down, but we still have less weight pushing down on the tow hitch. But anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Please subscribe to my channel, like this video and see our other videos. More to follow as we do more on this tractor. Bye!